What the hell did I
Second.
agree to do that?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Agenda approved.
Make a motion to approve the minutes. Do you have to do two sets or one?
Gotta do them separate because I wasn't at one of them.
And we'll do the minutes from last Friday.
24th, the 29th.
I'll approve those.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
I'll abstain.
Motion approved. Minutes from the 24th. I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Minutes approved.
All right. Monday, I went out for about an hour and looked at the house out there at the conservation that we're gonna turn into a Airbnb. Trying to get a rough idea of what it's gonna cost to furnish the place. It's not gonna be cheap, but I think in the long run, it'll be a big major attraction out there, so it'll be well worth that.
Is that the one right there on
And that's good. The new guy's gonna take the one at the north, so we'll make that south one into an Airbnb. So that's the plan as of today, unless he comes and changes his mind. But still be about the same amount of, still got the same amount of bedrooms. We're looking at 2 queen beds, two sets of bunk beds, and 1 pull-out futon or something. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe get an air mattress too or something. So basement.
Yeah.
Things like that. So that was that.
I agree with that.
Wednesday, we had the meeting here, and Thursday, yesterday, Kevin and I went to Easy Cog, we're both on the policy commission, now I didn't know that. but I'm vice president.
You're vice president.
Didn't know that either. So, had that, we also had the regular Easy Cog meeting yesterday. Took about 3 hours.
Met the new director.
What's that? Met the new director. Yeah, she's coming down next Tuesday to meet Kevin and I and Aaron Sandersville. So, it's a,
Sharon was always supposed to do that, but never came down.
she always came to this meeting, but never to a quick.
Yeah, she was always wanting to get a tour of the county, but then like COVID hit and that was the end of that.
Right, so I did that. And that was yesterday's, and just got off the DCAP board, and they said they're disbanding and going to the HHS is taking them over. So no more about that board. In June 26th, we have the final meeting for that. So the state pulled the DCAP funding. So that was my week.
Monday, I had workforce development, and they had a special meeting. We had to approve the state plan or whatever that they need to get out for public opinion. So we just had a short meeting for that. And then Tuesday, I missed the safety meeting. And then Wednesday, we had the meeting here. That was about it this week. So I got a budget hearing meeting. Yeah.
So I wasn't here last Friday, but on the 21st, we had the radio governing board meeting. There's some of the discussions we had were, one of the Marengo site, the generator is gonna have to be replaced. So the board was gonna look at possibly having money yet this year to replace it. If not, wait till next year, but there also might be some insurance money on it as well. And they're looking at going from from one brand to another brand, from Cummins to they got Kohler, but anyhow, it's gonna be cheaper, kind of comparing them and that way, because they plan to replace generators every so many years. So they're gonna go with maybe this cheaper one, see how it works, see if we get rid of the mice problem. You've known the mice problem since you were on the board, but evidently the wires on the generators were like soybean-based coating on them. So according to Josh, it's a smorgasbord for the mice. So it's just trouble just keeping the mice out of it. But, and then also we discussed when they set up the program radios, they set out 15 for each department. Well, a couple of the departments, fire departments, are wanting a few more radios. So we're looking at possible ways we can do that without spending any money. Possibly there was going to be some reserve radios for when radios broke down, maybe just issuing those out. And then we'd have to, each department would have to deal with their inventory when they have one broke down while they wait for it to get fixed. So that was all in that meeting. And then in the other meeting that I went to in Eldora last Friday, we talked about brought to you guys the information about the former members being able to get back on and trying to do 2080 agreement. And initially they were leaning towards where anybody that becomes a new member of the facility up there, the board, would have to pay per capita of the people in there. They came back with some good proposals and they're putting together a 2080 agreement. Long story short, the former counties that are out right now, were in but didn't pay in. The former counties that are out now, it looks like they're going to give them the option to join, and there'd be a delay in pay that they could pay to be on the board, or just for these former members and the counties are listed in the 2080 agreement. If they don't want to be on the board as an advisory one, they can still participate in the facility at membership rate, but just those counties. But they wouldn't have a say and they wouldn't have equity in the building, which I think is a good compromise to what they were at, because they'll still be able to use it at the membership discounted rate, which another topic of discussion was with the budget up there. It's like our budget. So there's going to be some changes, probably some increases in the per day bed for the users. And then there's also some cuts they're making too. So, but it was actually kind of a shorter meeting. We were done by 1 o'clock. So, and I think that's all I had for the week, besides the budget here.
Okay, I was at Easy Cog with Chris before I went there. I went some furniture shopping for the transportation.
found them a stand, brought that back afterwards. It's always nice to shop where it's free. Yeah, I gotta go back, I think, up next week, I think I found somebody else, another department wanted a desk. They have a desk that'll work. Been talking to the guys that are, I don't know, if it's representing the owners of Little Manna. That's trying to go forward and figure out how they're gonna tear it down, and I'm trying to help where I can, but right now I can't. We're looking for funding. I can't find any funding, any government entity. If a government entity owned it, then you can find funding, but since it's private, you can't. So they still think that they're gonna tear it down. There's people interested in buying it,
But torn down, probably.
torn down.
Yeah, very lot.
And then last week, we discussed the termination of the agreement with Tama. I called up there, I didn't get a response until yesterday. I got a call back from them, so I don't know if you guys want to discuss that at all now, or you want to wait for Nick, or?
I think we might wait for Nick, unless if we could get our opinions out now too before he's here, but.
I called them and I told them that we first agreed upon this with Nick, Abby, myself, and Mr. Kupka in the building that was gonna be in the middle of April. She goes, well, it says 6 months, and I go, max is 6 months. You said the middle of April. And if we terminate today, it'll be the 1st of June.
Right.
I explained to them, we used to have an assistant engineer, and now we're down just to one.
Yeah.
And I think this will be our busy season. We should focus on us.
Well, I agree.
That's my opinion. She goes, is there anything we can do, like minimal time? And I go, well, just driving back and forth and doing that's gonna take up a lot of time.
Right.
But that's just my opinion. You guys get to say what you want, but
Could they maybe keep him as an like advisory if they needed something signed?
that's what you guys get to decide.
I know, but would you be against that, I guess?
I don't know how much time that's gonna take.
That's kind of what he's doing there.
Probably have to ask,
I
don't know if he's doing
a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Sorry,
probably have to ask Nick,
I was gonna say what his thoughts are.
are they obviously actively pursuing, trying to find?
He thinks she thinks they have somebody coming in October, but by law, we can only do it for 6 months.
Which would be what month?
When do we start? March?
Was it middle of February? February?
I'll say it.
That'd be August. Because I would, if,
We just don't want to shoot ourselves either.
Right, and I agree. If we could do the bare minimum, so they need something done, I mean, like, they need something
because I
signed.
hate to leave them hanging, I mean, we would need some help from somebody someday too.
We were the only county around that would entertain it when we did this. Nobody else would even entertain the thought.
Obviously, they wouldn't, because they were already sharing.
So that's what she told me. And we'll see what Nick has for ideas too when he gets.
We'll see.
Yeah, I see what he
Pick
said.
his brain a little
So if you go down below, do some stuff. Was there a liquor license? I did not notice.
I don't
I
really
didn't
have
see
any.
one.
You want to talk about the discussion, consideration, and sale of the county owned, oh, it's another thing, that piece of property that I was dealing with that guy, the old streets that have never been used.
bit.
Finally got something back from the attorney, so now he's gonna go ahead and get the survey. So that ball is finally moving forward. And then he'll get a survey, that'll go to the McMean, it'll come back to us then again. Okay, sorry. Discussion, consideration, sale of county owned parcel.
Okay, so what did you guys, are we in agreement, we should just sell it?
Get rid of it, yeah.
I am.
What, as long as we follow the legal rules that are.
It's, yes. So-
I don't know if we can just sell it to them, or if we have to put it up for
I
auction.
think they put it up for auction.
Imagine.
I imagine that's what we did on that one out here, right?
Right, at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Put it up.
Because the other person might be interested in it too. There's two.
So you're spearheading this, right?
Yes, what do I need to,
Talk to the attorney.
Okay.
Make sure we get everything publicized right. Notice is sent out. sign claims quick.
Where is it?
So we were discussing this right before you came in.
Okay.
I'm of terminating the agreement. They're wondering if any way you can just sign papers for them, or doing the bare minimum still is gonna take up half the day to a day, right?
Who's wondering?
This
We,
board.
us, and so was the lady that talked to me up there. See if I can find her name again.
How much time does it take now?
Heather Knibbel?
Well, I usually go over there Thursdays, and I leave here a half hour early, get here like a half hour to an hour late. And then they usually call once or twice for another hour. So
So
it's
it's about
10
an
hours.
Yeah, 10 hours.
But it's more it's more than signing papers, I guess. Papers, they can sign payroll or claims without me. And I have no authority to sign DOT papers because DOT won't let temporary fill-ins sign papers for projects.
So I guess what do they need you for, I guess?
Well, okay, so I do just double glance over payroll and claims, not that that's 100% needed. Yesterday, I do sign some stuff for FEMA, because they had a FEMA event. We went out and, they have a windmill project going on right now, so nobody's quite aware of the whole situation. So I went out and took the foreman, we talked to the windmill people, went out, looked at another gravel road, talked to them. Talked to that grader, gonna work on maybe like getting a fillet there next to Highway 30. I had somebody look at some things a few weeks ago. They're gonna mill out next to a bridge, give them an estimate to mill out, and put a 2-inch asphalt cover over that. So I had to make sure all that paperwork was good, or, contact the bridge inspectors, make sure that doesn't affect the load rating. They have another road, L Avenue, that seal coat that kind of went to hell. So we had Manats, I think, come out and look at that, give estimates. Things like that, I guess. I don't. What do you, yeah.
Do you feel comfortable doing it still? I mean,
Knowing our
and being
busy time
able
of year is gonna-
to take care of, our county stuff? Or is it taking a lot of, it's taking more of your time than you want?
Does take time, but
Yeah.
we'll get by. It just, I can't take off too many days a week or at all, but it's really whatever. We'll get by.
We agreed to the middle of April.
Yeah,
That's my
you
stand.
don't need to look at me and be
No, I'm
mad.
just saying, I'm stating the fact that we agreed to them, and that was okay with them, that was okay with us. Because we were, at the time, was gonna take from the county of your time that we could use. I know you guys feel bad that you wanna help them out, but we have helped them out.
I understand that. What's your thoughts, John?
I just would look at it, is it gonna affect your work here? Honestly, I mean,
Listen, I will get by, we're gonna get by either which way, right? It doesn't, I'm gonna make sure that Iowa County will not suffer. That's my first priority. We'll get by. But you guys for the rest of it, I will not let us, slack or suffer. If I got projects due and I'm coming in on the weekends or, whatever. If that's what, I don't think it's what it's gonna come down to, but I'm just letting you know, my dedication is here. And I will not fail on that part. The rest of it is I'm not gonna, I just do whatever you guys want.
Yeah, but you have to have a life after they work in here. You can't put all your extra time in. You got kids. When I say if I have to come, it would be like want to do finish up some work, right? Like, it's not, I have it to right now where, I go over there on Thursdays because that's the day I don't have my kids, so I can afford to get up 40 minutes earlier, come back home an hour later and show up one other day a week here, a half hour early just to do some paperwork for them. So no, it's not taking up my entire, it is more work, and you go over there one day a week and it's go that entire 8-9 hours, no doubt. But it's whatever you guys, I'll make it work. That's up to you guys. I don't. And yes, when you brought them over, yeah, you guys talked about like 8 weeks. And they were fine with that, but now they don't think you're gonna find somebody to October. And by
Oh,
law,
Jesus.
yeah, but by law, the ruling there can be there 6 months, right?
Okay, so I wasn't crazy. I wasn't crazy. And I don't know where that agreement is that you guys pulled out last week. But they were at their board meeting, they did talk about by law over there, how it was where it could go up to 6 months. Yeah. So I had heard that, I wasn't crazy. But
I think in August, if they agreed upon that, actually we could be there anyhow.
sure. And, yeah, I'm still gonna go to Canada fishing, so they'll get 1 or 2 times less there.
when's that?
That's July.
Late June now. Yeah, it used to
They
be,
moved up then.
yeah, it's a week earlier.
Okay, so you guys know my opinion. Chris?
I would like to try another month. Go month by month
So
basis.
give them a 60-day notice or give them another month and then
Give
decide?
another month.
You're gonna give another month before, and then we revisit it.
Revisit it again, yes.
Is that?
I don't wanna leave them hanging. I mean, I think that'd be fair, give them another month.
So we could ask Nick if he's getting overburdened again and, something like that.
So basically, we give them 2 months theoretically.
Theoretically, yes.
Does that work for you?
Like I said, I'll do whatever.
Yeah, I understand. I've heard those comments before, but you gotta be realistic in what you want, what your expectations are.
No,
And we haven't been compensated you yet for the overtime yet, right?
correct.
So do you want to wait till the end, this situation's over?
I believe that's what maybe Abby had discussed.
But at that time, we were only going to April, and now we're gonna go to, who knows now?
Yeah.
That's a different story.
I think they should get you some overtime pay right now.
No, but see, it falls through us.
Yeah.
They're paying, Iowa County, and they're paying all of it. And we do even, when I drive my truck around up there,
They give you mileage.
yeah.
So we were gonna wait till it's done, so it isn't such a mess, just to clean it all up at the end and pay him back.
So, but if we could do it one time in the middle, just to make sure everything works, that would be,
Paying you back.
yeah.
When's the middle?
Yeah, that's a good
I'd
question.
say,
Right now.
Yeah, I'd say pretty soon here.
Whatever.
Yeah, okay. I'll work that out and try to, cause yeah, like I don't know what day we had a holiday, so I went over there and worked the whole day. I think so far, if they were to pay everything up right now, it would be 15 to 20 grand. I think they've already given us 10 or 11.
Okay, so the consensus is, we'll give it this 30 days and see how it's going, because then if we say no at that, end of that 30 days, they still get another 30
Yes.
days for determination. Everybody understands it?
Yes.
And either way though, I do believe it was good that you guys at least brought this to their attention.
But there's an end to this.
Yeah, because I don't know, that just means, if they have to up their price to find an engineer, if they have to be more relaxed. Because it really is, it's hurting them too, right? Because they have 3 projects that they need to let through the DOT that were supposed to go in March, got pushed back to June, and now they're getting pushed back even further. So,
So they're just gonna keep going up.
the letting dates just keep getting pushed back, yeah. Yeah, and so it's,
So after this meeting, I'll give that lady a call back and explain it to her.
whatever you, yeah.
Is that okay? Is
Yeah,
that okay with everybody else today?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
She'll be thrilled. She was pretty worried last night.
Just put it back in their ear. If you ever need some help, remember
Like
that,
Nick
maybe
said.
that olive branch is out there.
Like Nick said, it's gonna raise some awareness.
Yeah, give them at least.
I think I'd start bringing out the Manila folder. I can't, their computer system, what they put on their computer is their server is not as organized as ours, or I shouldn't say that. It's not as organized, but I know our system very well too. So it's a little bit harder for me to find all the appropriate paperwork over there. So I just start putting everything in Manila folders. I got like 20 of them laid out for all the things that they need to address that have come over the past 8 weeks.
Okay, so no more questions about that, correct? Me, else, any concerns? Okay,
The bridge on R Avenue will be open Monday, I believe is the goal. Not maybe today, but Monday should be the good day. We did have 2 pre-cons this week. For this is bridges to be built by PCI. The first one there is S1523. That is on H Avenue, HH. And they're gonna be closing that and starting the week of May 11th. So we, our techs went out there and staked the right of way this week. They're also getting in touch with the landowners to work out bridges. If you're looking on the map, it's gonna be, by Ladora, southeast of Ladora, on HH Avenue, just south of 180th.
Yeah. That 23 ton or whatever,
Yeah,
25 or something.
and I think that they have wanted to even load rate it. We might have even lowered it.
Yeah, this might be a flash.
So, and then after they do that one, then they'll go to the one on L. But bridges are starting. Contract rock is all done. They, we're putting in some other spot rock in other places. They're grading, and we're hoping that the week, or May 13th, we're gonna release them for dust control. So they have,
so I had scheduled it.
yeah, it'll be a good year.
What about embargoes?
So yeah, I was asked about embargoes. I mean, we don't need a resolution. We can take them down whenever.
I think it's time.
I said, was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Was it yesterday? Because it was really wet spring, and I would give it just another 2 weeks. And then we can revisit it there. I know that I was talking about L Avenue up in Tama, that they embargoed one on a seal coat that they have never really done before, but that one's got a little bit of issues. So it's like, I don't mind that. So I just give it another couple, let it really dry out. I mean, I know the water has been coming down quite a bit and things have been drying out pretty good, but, I just give it just a little bit more.
Okay.
We did some ditching. We took care of REA down there in Conroy. There was a spot on 110th. Now they're over on 280th. We got a lot of good feedback. Usually I don't tell you the specific spots, but people called in and were pretty thankful. And the bridge on J Avenue, I believe we touched up.
That was that much rock on there. I stopped this morning, that's a good, I mean, it was nice cement underneath there.
So
So the bridge had potholes on it. That's how much rock was on it. It was had a spit deck.
Didn't need that in the rock, did it?
No, so yeah.
Just clean the bridge off.
Yeah, I got out and looked at it this morning and
used a skid loader because it is posted. I didn't want that grader doing.
yeah, it's way better, 100% better. And they did a nice job down on the cement bridge too. That thing had the lip every time. They fixed that too. They did a really nice job there too.
So now we can take that bridge off the 5-year plan now.
Thanks, Chris. Speaking of that, remember I called you about the session. Did you get an answer?
I forgot. I even set a reminder and I don't think it went on.
Just want to know, you said it's the 5-year plan, but there's an old story. If it's the 5th year, that's it.
No, that one is, it's gonna go. It's just a matter of which year. It's gonna go.
I didn't know if it's year 3 or 4 or 5 is, you hope and wish. Section,
What's it rated now?
section, I don't know, what, you didn't tell me that.
Section what?
30 Lincoln. It's on 263rd Street.
Yeah.
It's down to 9 ton.
9 ton? Yeah, it's on the schedule.
Can you text me back later what you need?
Yeah.
Senator,
Actually,
Senator,
when, we just reduced that embargo, did anybody keep a copy of that?
the bridges?
Whatever, well, I passed it around, yeah. I had all the years that they were all.
I got the embargo map, and I've got the rock map.
Yeah.
I have all of
Was
this.
there a bridge replacement map?
No, I had a little sticky note on one of them that said every year that they were all gonna be replaced, or most of them.
Oh, I must not have kept that.
I might have taken it back. We did send out for culvert bids. That will be on May 15th. That'll be for, got the plans finished up. That'll be for 3 7-foot diameter by 54-foot long culverts on a level B. It's currently posted a few times, so we've got all our right of way signed. We'll start on that right as soon as those culverts come in. The IRVM grant, we did have a meeting about that, and we're getting some bids. And then we're paying the FM rock bills and making sure everything's straight there, since that goes through the DOT. That does, well, yeah, it's kind of easy, but it takes time. And I gotta make sure that all the, one district we were over quite a bit, so that's gonna take some negotiating.
I forgot that picture too, I was supposed to get for you. Gilbert.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dang it. One just you, I forgot to. You can't have, we can't have, it's about road signs in the ditch. We can't have those in there because all the mowers hit them in the line.
Oh, yeah.
And you just have them everywhere too. And this person, I believe, has been warned before.
That's right, we talked about it. I know.
I thought last year got warned.
Yeah, right, the year before or something. Yeah, same guy.
So, I will,
There's
I'll
one
make
just here
it-
south of town, about Brandy's house, I think.
Yeah. I didn't notice it today. It might be gone. It might be gone.
is she the one that wanted it there?
No,
No, it's not in her apartment.
Oh, but on that J Avenue Bridge, I stopped there this morning, I found three, you could get 3 signs back if you want them.
Down.
You got one of the black ones?
In the ditch?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, huh. 3 of them sitting there.
I think around harvest, sometimes they tend to be pulled and thrown in the ditch.
I might have hit one.
Yeah, I'll create a better file. I think last year I just called them and told them, hey, you can't do that. I'll get the file going on it this year and call and send out a letter.
I mean, we're mowing, we don't need to worry about hitting those things.
Yeah, plus, you don't want them up on every, 5 of them up on every corner either. Power washing, need a job, need this.
Sunrise Buildings was when they were putting theirs farther back, they were putting theirs out in the ditch a little bit more.
So, and our summer help will start May 11th, and next week, I have another box culvert that we'll set a letting date for. I just gotta finish that up, and the rest of today, finish paying those FM bills.
Do we have an ordinance for signs on the road for that?
It's a state law.
Okay,
Iowa Code 318.
there you go.
That's nowhere in the right of way at all.
Correct. Yeah, you can't put stuff in the right of way.
Safety hazard.
How many summer help do you have
Just one,
for mowing?
paved roads.
Is that all you can get?
No, we give more.
I
We used,
got one time we got 3.
we did, we used to have 3. We went through this, last year. Because times were tough and no raises and everything else, we cut back on 2 of the mowers. Have our motor graders do their own territories now. And that saves us about, 30,000, 40,000 a year by not hiring.
We used to have somebody like ride shotgun in the weed sprayer.
Yeah, well, it was one of the 3, I believe.
Is any progress made on that? Is that up there or getting put together?
I called a few weeks back. They had to order some tanks, and tanks were gonna take 3 to 4 weeks to get in. So I told her to at least put us on the schedule and give me a call beforehand. But the skid is made. It's just sitting there waiting, ready to go. Gonna be about $11,000, I think.
And then Mr. Arp and Conroy about vacating that road that never existed because you talked about you wanted so many feet for snow removal.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to have them get in contact with you if how many feet you're talking.
10, 15, whatever you want.
I don't know.
Just so that we can push snow,
Onto it.
yeah, a little bit past the driveway. It's gonna benefit them so they can get their cars out.
Yeah.
But other than that, 10 or 15, whatever.
Okay.
I'm not too picky.
Well,
And then wherever even that you make it, we'll have to let whoever pushes snow know, but if they don't want us to go past that 10 feet for a certain, they should probably put up a sign of, I don't know. Just have to figure out a way to,
it'll be a learning curve.
just tell them to not get too mad if they push snow the first year 20 feet instead of 15.
So it's like 15 feet past his driveway.
Yeah, that way we can just pile of snow right there.
Okay.
Snow that would otherwise go in people's driveways or ditches.
I hate to forget, so I'll tell him right away. Anything else for Nick? Thank you.
Yep. You guys have a good one.
You too.
Have a good weekend. Nick.
You too,
Hello, Jenny.
Hello. Richard?
Well, now.
Hi.
How we doing?
A very brief 3-page update, but it's big fun, so.
Very good.
Thank you.
Sorry for the community loss of Steve.
Yeah.
He was a good veteran.
He was in my office last Thursday. So just got to So I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to talk to him. Okay. Sorry for the long break in between coming in. I've been waiting to see what's going to be happening with the state as far as the change in legislation. And this is probably the most wicked ping pong thing I've ever seen in my history of doing this job. So that's still kind of out and in the unknown area as far as yet. Anyway, I reviewed the office data from January 1st, 2025 through December 31st of 2025, so full 365 days. Now, the claims in 2023, we had a total of 279. In 2024, that raised to 294, showing a 15 increase. During last fiscal year, in 2025, we had 408 claims that came in the office, showing 114 claim increase for the year. And then of those 408, 254 of them were veterans that followed back up in the office for additional claims. As of 10 a.m. yesterday morning, we have filed 243 claims since the first of this year. So we are busy, which is good. It's a good problem to have. They're not all Iowa County veterans. This is veterans from all over the state. So right now with the code being the way it is, they can choose to come to our office. I certainly don't mind if people are willing to drive 2.5 hours to come in.
Just make it that far. Can I ask why?
If you got diagnosed with a really unique cancer and you had the option of going to your local doctor who has a general knowledge of everything, or if you had the opportunity to go to a specialist that was about 2 hours away, one that was very aggressive with their process. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, Kevin. I'm just saying.
Just gonna say, are you double jointed?
I am not trying to toot my own horn. But a lot of those referrals are people from other people that are telling them like, hey, she's one of the best. Am I one of the best? I would never ever say that. Am I sassy?
I will give you credit because I remember I went through that. The paperwork you have to deal with is an individual is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would have never got through it all. So, I mean, yeah.
It's a lot.
A lot of it's filing the proper paperwork.
The proper
too.
way, the proper time, the proper person.
Right, so and a lot of the folks are new, and a lot of them, not every VSO in the state of Iowa is equal. I'm not going to talk disparaging. We are rocking it. All right, for the real reason I came over, out-of-state travel requests. Well, so NACVSO is the organization that hosts our annual national training. This year it's in Reno. So, and that will be from May 29th, returning June 5th.
You gonna fly the whole way this time?
I thought about driving. I did, but
Just bring up a bad memory for you.
it brings me out. I'm not going through O'Hara, that's for sure. So a little bit anxious about this flight. Thanks for bringing it up, Kevin. I'm hoping to get there and then get back.
Well, if not, call us. We can drive to Chicago and get you. Instead of staying there for 3 days or 2 days.
On a cot with kids vomiting and crying.
Well, you're the one crying.
I was. At the end of the day, I'm like, I just want to go so bad.
So since Mary doesn't know the story, Mary doesn't know the story. You flew into Chicago?
Everything was great. Like literally everything was great. Like I had an amazing trip down to Louisville, Kentucky, right? Just far enough that I could have drove. I know I could have drove, but I was like, you know what?
the heck?
I'll just fly. That's fine. So on the way, and everyone else just had a hell of a time. Like they were losing luggage. They got rerouted. I'm like, oh my God, that sucks for them. On the way back, I get to O'Hara and we're there early. Well, then within an hour before we're supposed to be boarding, they're looking for the flight. Like they're looking for the flight crew. Flight crew is nowhere to be seen. Finally, flight crew shows up about 10 minutes before we're supposed to take off. Load everyone up, and then about an hour later, get everyone off. Load everyone back up, hour later, get everyone off. About 10:15 that night, they're like, yeah, so we're gonna time out, so we're gonna spend the night here. Great. So they're like, here's a voucher for hotel rooms. there wasn't a single hotel room. They were doing like some kind of music concert that's taking up the entirety of Chicago. And then they're like, well, here's a food voucher. Okay, at 11 o'clock at night with nothing open. So brought out a bunch of cots, kids are crying, one was vomiting, everything was, so by the time 6 o'clock rolled around, we're supposed to fly out about 7 o'clock. Then we couldn't find a flight crew. And then after that, they're like, oh, something's wrong with the plane. And I said, screw it. I am going to rent a car and go home. Fun fact, no cars were available. So, and I was 5 terminals away, and I was invested at this point in time, so I Ubered home. Yes, I mean, and zero regrets. No, it did not. I got the mileage.
I think you called me twice, I was laughing.
You were crying, I mean, I was crying, you're laughing, and I'm like, that's fine. Like, it's just what you know, this is the hell I'm going through right now. Anyway, so I'm optimistic this year.
Like I say, what could it get any worse, but I don't make it a challenge.
Yeah, because my mom says that, she's like, it could get any worse. I'm like, shut your mouth, because it can.
You just have to always plan on that happening, and you won't be so disappointed.
Right, exactly, yeah, the level of disappointment, I mean, I'm not even surprised anymore when that stuff happens, because I'm like, of course it did.
You kind of like to have the flight crew show. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so we need a motion to allow.
Yes,
I'll make the motion to allow.
I'll second that.
yay, thanks,
All in
guys.
favor, say aye.
Right?
Those say nay. Motion approved.
Just kidding. All right, other education. So 2 schools, the state puts on. I know you guys got a letter from the association last week. I did kind of want to touch on that real quick. So I opted, due to some very unfortunate situations when it comes to the association. There's been a lot of issues with communication, a lot of drama, a lot of unnecessary stuff. So I did opt to go ahead and just pull Iowa County. And I let the president know, hey, when other folks are able to go ahead and not try to create divide and chaos, oh, gladly, I'd love to have the association, I'd love to Iowa County to rejoin the association. But until that happens, it's just not a healthy dynamic. So anyway, the state is in charge of taking care of the education and training. So we just had our state school for spring last week. It was phenomenal. Next one that's coming up will be in October. They do have the commissioner training, and that one is supposed to be on Monday, October 12th. And they also strongly encourage if board of supervisors want to go. And genuinely, it's a fantastic opportunity to meet and greet other board supervisors and other commissioners around the state and learn some information as far as like what our office can do. So if you guys get the opportunity, would love for you guys to go down.
You know those things, unfortunately, you'll have to remind closer to them.
Absolutely. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I went last year. That's when I went to last year.
Mhm. All right. Next one, there is a National Women's Veterans Conference. This is at no cost this is nothing out of the county. So Iowa Department of Veterans Affairs asked another female VSO and myself if we'd be willing to go ahead and go to this national conference. They are paying the hotel. The only thing I pay is transportation. So I want to kind of give you guys a heads up on that one. That's August 9th through the 13th. Okay.
Where was that one at?
That one's gonna be in Savannah, Georgia. Kevin, Savannah, Georgia.
So you don't need permission to go to that one.
No, well, do I need permission for that? If I'm not using anything county related, if we do,
I think you should, just to
Okay.
be safe,
oh, that's
since you're a
fine.
county employee.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you want me to go ahead and just come back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make that note.
Once you land, I heard that one's a Bearcat. So.
Yeah, that one sucks. So, but I'll just plan on coming back then.
Yeah, let's do that just to make it looks cleaner.
That works. All right. All right, outreach. The office is looking at outreach with the following activities. Our monthly coffee camaraderie, we are now just staying over in Waynesburg. And the reason is because we had over 20, it was a lot. Were you there for the last one?
I wasn't at the last one.
We had like 20. We had 21 folks. We've gotten to the point where it's too big to be in the coffee shop anymore. So the VFW Williamsburg has been gracious enough to go ahead and let us do our coffees there. And we bring donuts and they've got a coffee pot and it works out great. Oh, the donation drive for the Iowa Veterans Home, we had to take a trailer. like a 20-foot enclosed trailer. So that was awesome. Other things, gone to different dinners held by the American Legion, VFW, lots of outreach events coming up. Presentation for the November 11th Iowa County Veteran of the Year was great, and attended the Sleep Fall Gala for 2025. All right. So what we did for education, I know we kind of touched on this on the first page, but we attended both state schools and nationals in 2025. So far in 2026, I attended the American Legion training that was held on Valentine's Day in Des Moines, along with just this preschool. I was able to participate in the Thrive course for suicide prevention and awareness as an instructor. And then attended the first round of the Certified Veteran Advocate course offered by the National Association of Veteran Service Officers. Otherwise, I've created a wide variety of videos about benefits. These are currently being circulated around multiple veteran organizations and sites on social media. I was also asked by Carl Letlow, who is point of contact for the Iowa Department of Veterans Affairs, who's in charge of the advertising, to share any additional videos that I create with the Iowa Department of Veterans Affairs, so they may share to their official veteran social media and YouTube sites. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then goals for this year. So to continue to provide the same excellent services to all the veterans that contact my office. And then go through the second round. Otherwise, anything else that you guys have questions on that I can answer?
You should toot your sister's horn.
Yes, so I will always tutor her. Her promotion ceremony is June 27th.
They don't know this.
Oh, okay. My twin sister is active, and she's putting on full road colonel. So, which is really honestly a big deal for a small town Iowa farm kid. So she is coming back home and going to be doing her promotion ceremony at Legacy Acres on June 27th. So gonna be a great party.
I thought they should know.
Huh?
I thought they should know.
I appreciate that. So, anything, guys? Chris, anything?
No,
No?
keep up the good work.
All right, good deal. Okay.
All I hear is good things.
Anything? I mean,
You're doing a great job.
okay.
I recommend everybody treat yourself.
We would tell you.
I appreciate you guys. I am gonna go. I gotta get through, but I guess you guys, you know, everyone
See ya.
be safe.
Have a great weekend.
Yes, you too.
You'd like to come up and be done early? That way you can do the pickleball example.
Well, we could run over to the pickleball court over there at the school and do some one-on-one tutoring. Yes.
I can see you sitting behind me. I didn't-
Oh, that's okay. I like to sit in the back sometimes.
So-
Here, come on.
Everybody that knows, this is Mary Legion. She's, I don't know, do you have a title for this? Are you speaking for this, or there's a group?
I'm just in the group. But I'll go through this with you. So first of all, thank you. I'm Mary Legion. I'm here on behalf of Pickleball Iowa County. And I just want to thank you for giving me the time to share some information with you today. So I could start by saying, you know, I could have passed this out afterwards, so you would actually look at me when I'm speaking, but
That's a teacher.
I know, right? I thought you would laugh at that. And I'm just kidding. I won't completely go on the script, but it is really good information. I'm really grateful that you're able to take the time to listen to it. So I just want to start by talking about how purposeful we were when we created the 501c3. We were purposeful that we did it county-wide rather than just Williamsburg or Marengo or whatever, because we have a mission to grow the sport of pickleball for all ages, levels, and ability throughout Iowa County. We want to do that by creating and cultivating an environment that promotes healthy, active social interaction, good sportsmanship, and fun. So you can see that on our mission and our goals. We believe that communities with pickleball courts will stand out as forward-thinking, vibrant communities where residents can enjoy a high quality of life. And this group strives to support and create a structured voice for our local communities by assisting with the development of more pickleball courts. We want people from Iowa County to enjoy free access to play pickleball and enjoy the mental and physical benefits of the sport. At this point in Williamsburg, in order to play pickleball, you either have to belong to the rec center or pay to play. In Marengo, you are able to play for free on their court that they have updated. Used to be a tennis court, now it's been painted and serviced for pickleball. So we saw the need for that, and that's why our group formed.
In Williamsburg, will you have to belong to the rec center to use this then?
No, it'll be outside, free for everybody.
Okay.
That's our goal. So we do have board members, you can see them listed there. Everybody is from Williamsburg, however, Mindy Slaymaker is a co-chairman and she is from Marengo. She plays pickleball with us a lot. It was partly her vision as well that got us started with this. But as you can see, we are really organized, but you can see who our board members are there. So pickleball was invented in 1965. You can kind of read through that. It originally consisted because they were bored and they just kind of wanted to play some game with the equipment that they had. So they started with a plastic ball, similar to a wiffle ball, and then used table tennis paddles. So this is what we use now. This is an actual indoor ball. This is what your paddle looks like. Outdoor balls look the same, but the holes are a little smaller. So anyway, that's how it started 60 years ago, 61 years ago, I guess by now. So in recent years, it's become a viral sensation and millions of players are playing worldwide. It is growing and growing and growing. And we're just excited to be a part of it. We're just excited that our community is going to have this opportunity to play. So as you go on to the next page, talks about all the physical health benefits and all the mental health benefits. You can read, it says it all there, cardiovascular health, muscle strength and endurance, balance, coordination, flexibility, joint health. The mental benefits have what I kind of want to focus on a little bit, because we have found that the social connectedness is just really powerful for mental health. We know how important mental health is. The cognitive function, of course, is great, but the social interaction is really something. So we have found that people retire and they're lonely. They don't know what to do anymore. So they're looking for people to have social interactions with. And one thing that has stuck out to us is we have several people who are retired, but we have people from all ages. We have a woman that comes from Highland Ridge and plays just an hour a week. She has 1 hour of respite away from her husband. She's a caregiver, so she gets away and does that. We have people who are newly retired that have no friends anymore, or they're new to the community and they want to meet people. So we have found that this was not why we started. We wanted to start this because we like to play pickleball. We want everybody to play. But what we found is the benefits are amazing. And I think that's why it's growing so fast throughout the country, throughout the world. Okay, so pickleball craze hits Williamsburg. I started playing in 2022 with my friend Jody Stahl. Y'all know Jody Stahl probably. She called me up and she said, hey, pickleball is going to start at the rec center. I need a partner. Do you want to play? And I said, yeah, I don't know how to play, but yes. So that's when she sent me that video, you know, that you guys were talking about, Kevin, the video with the people from Wisconsin playing. So I'm like, sign me up. I don't know how to play, but I'm in. So we started playing. You know, we were playing a couple days a week. We started, you know, we couldn't even hit the ball over the net. And then what we found is that more people played and played and played. More people love it so much that it has been a really big impact on the rec center in Williamsburg and, in fact, the entire Iowa County. We welcome people to play who are visiting Iowa County and who are new to Iowa County. For example, we have people that come in and they're visiting their kids that weekend. You know, they're adult people and they live in Timbuktu and they want to play. We welcome them, they play. And then they say things like, oh, maybe we'll move back here, you know, when you have these things like this to offer us. We have kids that are visiting for the weekend or spring break, and they'll come in and play, you know, cousins from Timbuktu or whatever. So we regularly have people who play with us from Amana, Conroy, Marengo, Oxford, Parnell, North English, Victor, and Williamsburg. And that's been a really pleasant surprise. I was shocked by that, but it kind of just brings people together. It has benefited the rec center because more people are joining because they want to play pickleball. And in fact, the rec center started another strength and conditioning class with many of our members attending. That's what I'll be missing here pretty soon, so I got to keep it rolling. But then I might just skip it today. But again, I mentioned that about people new to the community and or visiting. And we're always promoting Iowa County when we are playing. We talk about the amenities all the time. And we talk about this vision that we want this for free for everybody. Okay, so that gets us to our next page. It isn't about us. At first, when we went to the city, I think the city just thought that we were just a bunch of old ladies that like to play pickleball and we didn't want to really, you get a couple of retired teachers involved and you're like, you ain't gonna know what's gonna hit you next. This is what's going on. So, but we truly are driven by our drive to give back. You're all doing that as well. You all get that, We have a great community. Williamsburg's great, Marengo's great, North English. Everybody's doing what they can to promote their specific town or their community or their church or their organization. Well, this is something that we feel really strongly about. So that's what it's about, giving back. Okay. Bridging the gap. I want to just talk about that for a minute. Pickleball bridges the gap between generations. It allows all ages to play together. We had a tournament a year and a half ago. We had somebody that was 14 and somebody that was 76, 78 that played in that tournament. I think that's cool. I think that's really neat. Pickleball bridges the gap between communities. We have people, seriously, from those communities that I mentioned before, those towns that I mentioned before, that we have become friends with, that we have, they've come to our town to shop. We've supported each other with health scares, just the kind of thing that people in communities do for each other. So that's been really, really neat. And again, it bridges the gap between physical and mental health. That's been a really interesting thing to watch. We can't remember the score. We cannot remember who served. So we kind of think we're not really, like we're losing it, but we're using our brain the whole time. We're using our bodies the whole time. So since August of 2024, that's when we went to the city and we said, this is our vision. Can you help us with this? And they said, we have no money, we can't do that. But you can put it on city property. And if you raise the money, you can do the project. So that's where we're at. So since 2024, we applied for a 501c3 status. And then on December of 2024, we started fundraising. So that 501c3 process was longer than we thought it was going to take, but we learned a lot and we had a lot of support moving forward with that process. And that process has really helped us to be more mindful of it being a county project and for applying for grants. And we're actually fundraising because then any donation is tax deductible, of course. Okay, we have a website, we have a Facebook page, we're over 700 followers. That's pretty good. We have monthly board meetings. Our notes are shared on Facebook and our website. We have volunteering opportunities. We have done the Night on the Square. We've hosted 3 tournaments, 1 in Marengo, 2 in Williamsburg. We had summer leagues in summer, winter, and spring leagues in Williamsburg. We are going to have a summer one as well, and then a summer one in Marengo this summer as well. For benefits, we had one in Conroy at the winery, raised a couple $1,000s there last summer. We had one in April last year at the Sundown in Williamsburg, raised $20,000 there. This year we had one, we raised over $30,000 at that. North English, we had a garden walk at Sherry Moffitt's, Sherry, yeah, and that was, like a $2,000 or $3,000 benefit. So we've used people's gifts, we've used people's ideas, brought it in, and then just really, connected with those people and found our way to raise some money during that process. Many fundraising conversations, visits, presentations, and applying for grants. So we've currently raised around $150,000 to be approximately $200,000 needed. Okay, that gets us to our last page of why I am here. We believe that our vision aligns with your mission to improve the health, welfare, and comfort and convenience of Iowa County residents. On behalf of Pickleball Iowa County, I'm asking for your financial support for this project. Is it possible to use revenue generated from hotel taxes to help fund the Pickleball Iowa County Community Project? And then if you turn to the next page, it goes through our sponsorship and donation opportunity page. Again, we mentioned our mission at the top. This is the information that I've shared with countless people. I have visited people, I have gone to meetings, spent a lot of time sharing our vision. We have the different sponsorship opportunities. If you donate at a bronze, silver, gold, or platinum level, there will be signage that shows that you did that. If you donate at a platinum level, then you have a coordinator after you. But of course, all donations are accepted and appreciated. Again, we are a 501c3 public charity, and I guess on the back page is probably isn't so much for you guys, but it does show that we accept PayPal, Venmo, check, cash. This is a picture of how the courts would line up at the rec center. The north edge of the parking lot is where we're talking. Kind of right by the little kid playground there, by those evergreen trees. It's on the north edge of the gravel parking lot. So they would be lined up like that picture. And we are really, really hopeful that we can get this thing done by the end of this, later this summer, early the fall. We are hoping to put it out for bids next month if the city allows us to do that. We don't really know how much it's gonna cost. We do believe that we have enough to get the bids out, and we are waiting to hear about a couple of more grants. You know, maybe we'll get a grant. We applied for 3 grants last year. We only got 1 of those grants, and it was a small one. We're grateful for it, but you know, we were hoping for a big one, didn't get it. But you know, you learn a lot through that process too. We feel like we're a little bit more ready this year, a little more prepared with some data that we could use to back that up. But again, I just can't stress enough how much this would really help our county, and how much it really would help people, and how much it could help anybody moving to the area. You know, something fun to do, a way to connect, way to be physically and mentally healthy. So I would like to answer any questions that you might have at this point.
That's asphalt, they're asphalt courts?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's the top coating is asphalt. Yep. Of course, where all the netting is kind of where you.
Right.
So I guess I had a question. Like pickleball, Iowa County, is there plans to also like develop in other communities?
Yes.
as
So
well?
let me give you an example of, we decided that we were starting in Williamsburg, and back to the whole county aspect of this. You know, at first, most of us were from Williamsburg, but we kept seeing how it was growing. And then we wanted everybody to feel welcome and connected. Well, Mindy Slaymaker has been really instrumental here in Marengo with helping to get that resurfaced. But she's been really helpful with our board meetings and fundraising and that kind of thing. We are promoting it throughout the county so that people here, you know, and there and everywhere can have better access. Now, they didn't want to spend the money to build a new one here, but the city did pay for the resurfacing here. So when we have a league or a tournament, it'll be backed by Pickleball Iowa County, even though it's in Marengo. We're not planning to build one here, but if that were to come up, yes, that is something that we would do. When they had a roundup at Big G last summer, that specific money, we were very specific with that money staying with this project here. When we had a roundup in Williamsburg at Brothers, then it was specific for the court in Williamsburg. But we are specific with Iowa County, but then we still have to branch out to meet that countywide goal. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, any talk about like North English?
We haven't talked about that.
That'd
because
be another resurfacing project. So they got the tennis court.
I mean, that's, and here's the thing about the fundraising and about the work, like like anything, it's a lot of work. And we thought, we're starting with this, we don't have anything, this is where most people play, this is where the town, the city is giving us the property to do it. But then as we grow, and if we were to get another grant, you know, the money that we have specifically raised, this $150,000, is more specific for the Williamsburg project, because a lot of those people are people that I've talked to face to face that are from Williamsburg. But when I talk about it, I always say that it's Iowa County, and then we're specific when we have like the fundraiser that we did at Conroy, the winery. Some of that money got earmarked for like the Marengo project. So that's why when we meet, we're kind of talking about how we're using that money. We would love to build a court or resurface a court in North English. I think that'd be amazing. And I think that's why you're seeing it everywhere. It is absolutely everywhere, but you know, nobody has any money. So it takes a bunch of people with a a strong will and a determination to share the vision and to get it done. You know,
So if you resurface a tennis court, obviously, is it still able to, are they still able to play tennis on it, or the tennis part?
I think Marengo has one, isn't one still marked for tennis?
I don't know.
And those are like, they're, the netting in Marengo is not permanent. And so they move those, but I'm sure that they're still, yes, one's
I
marked for
think
tennis.
so, but I can't.
Yeah.
So when you get Williamsburg done,
Mhm.
this 501(c)(3) does not disappear.
No,
This is an ongoing project.
that is our plan because we are probably gonna have to maintain the surface. You know, we hope that it lasts 10 to 15 years, but yeah, we're gonna have to come up with money for that because the city, Williamsburg has specifically said, you know, we don't want to maintain this. We're making it as maintenance free as possible, but like anything, you have to resurface. So our goal is to keep this going. We've talked about giving scholarships. We've talked about, you know, benefits for people who are struggling. You know, we've talked about what we could do more with this, and we are really about giving back. But right now, our goal is we've got to get it built. And what happens next, you just can't count us out on anything because we can do it. But again, we are waiting to hear about grants. So like if we were to get lucky and get if we got a big grant that we've applied for, then we've got another phase that we could go forward. Now, it might not be North English yet, but we haven't talked about that specifically yet. But what we have talked about is a possible phase of lighting, a possible phase of more benches and garbage units, wind barrier. We went to this really awesome one. We've traveled around and visited places to get feedback from the people. You know, most of the feedback is nobody's raising all the money themselves. They're getting one big supporter, or a city or a county is supporting it. We're pretty unique that we've been able to raise this much money, and we're pretty proud of that because that's been a lot of hard work and a lot of support. But the thing that I found really, really interesting at first, I thought, you know, I'm sharing my goal, I'm sharing my vision. This isn't about me. I keep saying that it's not about me. And now what I'm hearing now from people is, thank you, Mary, thank you for doing that. And I'm like, what, you know, but a lot of people want this. I think it's surprising that the number of people that do want this, because they realize how fun it is. And they realize how good it is socially and physically.
So do you like foresee your organization staying together, and then like, would you have tournaments to raise other funds for like maintenance, and then like even like concessions, even possible benefit tournaments and stuff like that?
Yes, 100%. When we do tournaments, we do raise a little money. It's not like a bunch of thousand, you know, it's not even $1,000, but you know, we maybe raise $700 or something like that with the fee. And then we have merch that we sell and we get a percentage back, or, you know, we have merchandise that we sell and we make some money on. At this point, that's all been going towards the building fund, right? But moving forward, you know, we need to do a benefit. We need to have a tournament for this person that's ailing, or this family that's struggling, or we've talked about all of that stuff. But again, we are community-minded people on this board, and we're givers. We want to give back. But right now, we've got to focus on getting this done because we want to be good stewards of the money that we've gotten so far. But I think, you know, if you have an idea, we are open to any of that. Kevin, do you have any questions? Zach?
No. I don't think so.
I'm good right now.
I asked my question earlier.
Huh?
I asked my question earlier
Remind me what that was.
about it. If it's gonna be done, your 501(c)(3) will go away.
Right. We don't envision that one bit.
That way you continue going on for
Yes.
maintenance reasons.
Yes. And just to grow the sport of pickleball throughout Iowa County, right? You know, if Marengo wants to go that direction, if North English wants to go that direction, we are here for that group or that community, I guess, you know. And we believe that. But you have to start somewhere. You can't start, you know, with this big, huge goal. You have this big goal, right? Then you pare it down to what's doable. And again, we've done all this with just community support. We've got one small grant.
Okay, so this is one of those deals, I think it will apply. We could use hotel motel do it. It's promoting, it's recreational, it's tourism. It's a 501c3, so it would qualify. And in my opinion, I would suggest like 5,000. I think we could get easy enough. But it's up to you guys. That's just a suggestion.
We ought to have the money, obviously, in the hotel motel.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's.
It qualifies, yeah. We don't spend it on
You have to
certain things.
qualify, it would qualify.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I'm good with that.
So there's a motion, is there a motion?
But motion to give the Iowa County Pickleball Association $5,000.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Right?
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved.
That's amazing. Thank you. What's the process for?
Oh, now you want them?
About 3 or 4 years. You know, how government works. It could be
Well,
another
this is
8
on this
months.
show. So the hospital for claims would be like 2 weeks?
Yes, if you want it for this budget and,
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
And we should have money in there, it's qualified. We always budget some that we
I
can
guess,
spend.
yeah, maybe you'll sign off on something like this and we'll put the minutes with it and,
Okay.
yeah.
You don't get it, you won't get it today.
It'll be, we will mail it out the 12th or the 18th. To you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Where do you want it mailed to?
I can give you my mailing address.
Okay.
I'm gonna whisper it. I don't want Kevin to know it, but.
Because I don't know where you live.
Or do you want it to this PO box?
Why don't you send it to me?
Okay.
So it's 3054 225th Street. And that's Williamsburg.
Okay.
And you said after the mail, after the 18th.
Yes, it will be ready the 18th. It can be picked up or we will drop it in the mail.
And I
The
can
mail
mail
is
it
kind of,
I'm happy to pick it up. I'm happy to do whatever, but I mean, whatever you want.
it's up to you.
Yeah, just say, so you don't come up and it's been mailed.
Right, okay.
So you
Why
guys
don't I
decide.
pick it up?
Okay.
Give me the date to pick it up again.
Monday, the 18th of May.
And,
We're open today.
a time of day that works.
We're open today. We're open all day.
The 4:30.
June, right?
May.
I mean, I was just kidding.
Sure you were.
Well, that is amazing. I know that, our board is gonna be really thrilled with that donation. And again, we are not gonna let you down on this. We are, you know, really, really excited about this opportunity. We're gonna do what we can to promote our county and help the people in it.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked, I'd love to see get North English involved, even Medora,
Well,
Yeah,
Victor.
Victor.
We've had, yeah, and again, I know that people would play. And we are happy, when people want to learn to play, we help them. You know, you bring the kids and bring the family and it could be free for all. Well,
You have to have another court.
There's no exception here.
yeah, that's what everybody says. Once you get them built, then you're gonna need more, but, you know, and that, I guess that moving forward is, you know,
It's a
maybe
good
that's a
problem.
conversation that we have another year, you know, and moving forward with all that. But that's our goal right now, to get this one built and then to keep it rolling. So I really appreciate your time and I really appreciate your support, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi.
We're gonna go play pickleball now. Did you want
I
to?
see that I came this supposed to play pickleball when I went there to North Carolina.
Oh, well, you need it. It's not ever too late.
There's always this.
There's a former deputy there that's there twice a week.
Yeah.
Great. Oh, is it really?
Oh, yeah.
Rick's got a mean left hook.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. He does.
I have to, you know, I work out at the rec center about every morning and it's different people every morning. There's people playing every morning.
I said, I've never played that day. Rick said it's early and then Mike.
That's okay.
Yeah, I went in early today. It was
You just a hiking trail, that's the thing you don't know.
I'm sorry, Kevin. Thank you,
I
everybody.
feel good that you don't think you hit the goat.
All right, we're getting a bunch of handouts today.
Can we get one, Chris?
I even have one for you. You guys ready? Yep. All right. So I had emailed some time ago about the educational program that we'd like to get started. Well, we actually started in the jails on a smaller scale just to see how it would work. And we had a few people, fed prisoners that actually signed up for it. And it's been incredibly successful. And this, the Indovo highlights, what I handed out is kind of a 30,000 foot view of the program. You can see 35,000 plus hours of content, and the content is very, very widespread. It deals with a lot of different disciplines. Over 1,000 courses. They associate with 500 content partners, and right now, 1.2 million incarcerated people have access to the program, but very few of them in county jails do. This is something that you're seeing more in prisons and things like that, but we'd like to bring it to the county jail, and we have. It's through our commissary company that gives us connection to this. The really neat thing is, we didn't know how this was going to go. We've tried to do some things in the jail to help people get through their sentence and not come back. You know, that's the whole goal, is don't come back. And we've done things like AA meetings and counseling and things like that. And they were successful for a time, but they're very difficult to do in county jail because of the fact that you're turning over inmates, so they're not there very long. Some of them, the feds are there the longest, but you also have to put them in one room, and we don't run a huge jail when it comes to personnel, so you gotta have 2 or 3 people in that room plus still run the jail, and it's been really tough. So we've always been looking for something to give some incentive to inmates to make something of themselves and not keep going back into the system. There is a gentleman, and I can't use his name, but you'll hear more about him, who has been a lifelong inmate. He's literally been in and out of jails and prisons his entire life. He's now around 60 years old. And he's never done anything with his life, and he'll tell you that. And he started doing some of these classes and really got interested in culinary arts. So there's 4 inmate highlights here. There's 4 people that we've started to do this with. And they're all successful, but one in particular has done he's only been in 92 days. He's completed 166 courses. This guy is doing nothing but take coursework. Literally all his waking hours, he is reading his material. He's taking notes. He's done really well, to the point now that he has a scholarship opportunity. He has been contacted by an organization in Ohio that actually takes people who have been incarcerated and gives them a chance to become chefs in a culinary institute. And he has waiting for him a scholarship when he gets down. He's going to leave us. He's going to go to a federal hold somewhere else to serve the rest of his sentence. He's already a sentenced prisoner now. He's just waiting for his placement. And as soon as he's done with that, he's going to Ohio on this scholarship. And he swears up and down that when he gets out, he's coming back here with a news crew to explain how his life changed. And now whether those things really happen, I don't know.
Most of the time, you don't want any of your prisoners to come back to see you.
Right. But this person, literally just to hear him talk, he's never had anything. Like, he literally has never had anything to look forward to. And now he sees it, in spite of the fact that,
Yeah, he's been on this earth for almost 60 years. He actually has a future now, and he's really excited about it. You can see there's other people there that have been there. It shows the days that they've been incarcerated and the number of courses they're taking. The way we're doing it is, it's managed through commissary. Commissary profits are used to pay for this. It's not very expensive, but it is something that takes time to deal with. You've got electronic keypads, essentially like small laptops that you engage the classwork through. And you can sign up for as many classes as you can. We pay for the actual device, not courses. The courses are just open to you, but the device is what costs a few dollars a day. And again, it's all being paid for by commissary. And we've talked about it before, in that there's only so many things we can spend our commissary on. We have to show that the commissary profits were put back for the benefit of the prisoner. We can't buy things, just general things for the sheriff's office. And quite frankly, you can only buy so many blankets, so many mattresses, so much laundry detergent. And it starts to kind of pile up. And it's something we have to not let happen, because as in government, when money starts to pile up, somebody wants it. And so.
Can we say how much we have?
We have over 100,000. I don't know if Kristen could give us the updated, I don't know how handy that is. We move so much, to the budget every year, but there's an underlying fund that just keeps acquiring this money. And having federal prisoners is what's doing it, because they spend a lot on commissary. So this thing that I'm asking you today is really twofold. I would like, right now we run commissary kind of in an ad hoc manner. We do have our chief jailer, not the jail administrator, but the chief jailer is like the lead on it, but everyone has to share in the work, and it doesn't have any central management for it. And what I'd like to do is, I would like to assign that commissary, that entire issue, to one person and have them manage it, and then manage this program and open this up to anyone who wants to take it. I don't think, as successful as this is, I don't know that we want to hold this back. It's going to pay for itself. It's going to add a workload to the jail. There's no question about that. It already is, but I think it's worth it. It's the first thing I've seen since I've been here that is actually showing me that somebody is going to leave here and do something with their lives. They always have great intentions, but the fact that this guy's already got his education lined up in Ohio, I mean, that's a real thing. It's not an idea that he wants to have. It's happening. And I think he would be just one of many that would find that. And if we could just take one or two people out of the system and put them into society and actually not be part of the problem, but part of the solution, I think it's worth it, especially since it doesn't cost taxpayers any money. What I'd like to do is just add $1.50 an hour to that position, and that it's not necessarily a person, but it'd be a position, so we change over time. But I want them to own this. I want them to manage commissary, get the most out of commissary. Commissary is a real pain, by the way, because it's essentially a shopping cart for all the prisoners. And it has to be managed, it has to be received, it has to be divvied out. And you have to change product. If you have the same product in the store all the time, the sales start to drop. So he's constantly going to be looking at swapping out things that aren't popular, excuse me, with things that are. And I think just having overall management of that is going to raise the level of revenue that we have, which is already great now. It'll make it even better, so that things like this won't necessarily be a drag on that, but just be part of it.
Okay, so I'm going to ask bad questions, so just bear with me. So I'm going to point at you, because I don't know who's doing it. So you're doing it now, right? And amongst your other duties. So if we appoint somebody, does that mean you do less of the other duties?
Do we need another employee now?
No, I don't think so. This isn't something that takes, the whole shift, but it does take, I would say that if we added this program to all inmates, made it available, it's probably gonna take a couple extra hours a day there's a difference between doing your normal rounds and doing book-ins, book-outs, but then to take on another project.
Right, but what I'm trying to say, is that you gonna have enough time to get your normal stuff done
Yeah.
on top of this?
Well, so what we do is just have this done during the day when we have extra help. So it's not gonna detract. It's just gonna be a harder working day for that person. It's just more responsibility for them.
So that person, you're the guy. You work 2 hours a day. So would your 2 hours a day pay come out of the commissary fund?
So I would like to do is just, transfer that from that line item into the pay line item. Do it by the week or the month or however it is.
For that extra dollar.
Yeah.
That's how you work it out.
And so I look to see if is this something that happens somewhere else? And I find out that the larger jails actually pay for entire personnel, like they pay the entire thing. I talked to Muscatine County, they have a jailer, they're holding hundreds of prisoners. They have an entire jail that is paid for by commissary.
So are you saying that the raise is coming out of there, or the 2 hours is coming out of there?
The raise would come out of there. The $1.50 an hour out of commissary going into supplement. So that person's gonna get a little bit of raise because their workload goes up.
I get that. I'm just trying to figure out if it's just $1, if it's the whole 2 hours wage would come out of there.
Well,
No.
it'd be like 60 hours, $60 a week.
Right. Yeah, because you're not gonna sit down there for two hours at a time and do this. You're just gonna be dealing with it throughout your day.
I didn't know if you could do that, because since you said you struggle sometimes to get rid of it.
Well, and that's why it has to be a daytime thing.
Do you foresee it like maybe possibly, so, well, I guess a couple questions. Is it necessarily gonna be a jailer or deputy, or could it be?
It would have to
Is
be,
that?
it would have to be a jail. It would have to be someone in the jail because they're dealing with the prisoner one-on-one. So
If you couldn't foresee it being a part-time position for someone?
no, I don't think it's,
Because
I don't think
if it was a jailer part-time,
right.
it's gonna cost money to have this certifications, and
Yeah,
it might not be used, and
we're not big enough for that. If we held 200 people, maybe that'd be the truth. But, in our case, we're holding, in the 20s usually. So it just wouldn't be enough to.
so right now, this program is just available for federal prisoners? Not
Right now, we've only brought on 4 of the devices as a test to see, first of all, what's the workload? How popular is it gonna be? Is it gonna be successful? Are people gonna take it seriously? Are they actually gonna open up classes and see them to completion? And so that's what these numbers are. And I just think it's impressive. You think of it, what is an inmate doing when they're in our jail? Nothing. They're watching TV, they're reading books maybe. But here you see 534 hours of learning, 364, 137, 129. Those are the 4 people.
Is there some people like waiting to get their turn to use it?
Yeah, so when you're in a jail situation, you have to be a little careful about what you offer one person. You can't offer one person in a cell something and not somebody else. So you have to be very careful. So it's kind of been parceled out so that the whole world doesn't know we're doing this, because they'd be upset, if you give one person Jell-O for lunch and not another person, you're gonna hear about it. Okay, same thing here. So that, I think, would take care of itself in that everybody can do this. Now, the one thing we've talked about, and I think we probably follow through with it, is like other things that you can take away, this would be one of them. If someone's not following the rules, not doing what they're supposed to do and acting the way they're supposed to do, this would be something that we would have to take away from them. So, I've heard over the years, why do prisoners get to watch TV? Why aren't they just in a square box with a head and a blanket. And this is the reason, because you have to give them something, quite frankly, so you can take it away if they don't do as they're supposed to do. And so this would be part of that. You know, if anyone like maybe lost their recreational time, this probably goes with it. So it is a tool to help people behave in jail. And, you know, people are in jail because they didn't behave. So, you know, sometimes that's
I didn't think
a challenge.
we kept anybody very long. This is surprising. How as long as they stayed.
Federals can stay. It's not unusual to see one be here for a year. It can happen. It's usually months at least, where state prisoners come in and serve sometimes a couple of days to a couple of weeks, maybe some months, but
Sometimes they stay here, then they get shipped to somewhere else.
right. So federal prisoners will come in here pre-sentence. Maybe they maybe not even had their trial yet. And then they have their trial, then it's post-sentence. But then between sentencing and then where you go, you know, they have to line up for transport because they get on sometimes the jet and fly somewhere in the country. So they take them in large groups. So it's not unusual to see someone here for, you know, a 6-month stay is probably a shorter stay. It's usually 8, 12, sometimes more months than that.
We're keeping those beds full, the federal beds.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The federal beds, are they staying full?
Yeah, we have exactly what we want.
So this program is paid for out of the commissary,
Mhm.
and that provides the tools you need, the
Yep.
electronics you need.
Yep.
So you would just add more.
Yeah.
Electronics.
Right.
I don't have any problem with it.
Are you here to tell us? Do you even need our permission?
So the reason I'm asking right now, the billing totaled up for our portion for the year, our 25% was 18,935. And so since that doubles next year to 50%, it would be somewhere around 40,000. As soon as I get a real number, I'll get it to you, but that's my guess is it's going to be around 40. The thing that I really want to be careful of though is I really think that the state of Iowa needs to be a little more equitable in how they apply mental health funds. And I know how they can be, where they say, well, Iowa County's got it taken care of. First of all, opioid funds are not going to cover this long term because it's a very short term fix. It is, because it's going to 50% next year. It's going to go to 75% next year after that. The income is not there. So it's definitely a Band-Aid. But I also know that there are other counties in this state that are getting their MHL covered completely.
Are they large counties, small counties?
They are, the one in particular is Marion County, who has 2. And I think they're going to 3. But they were in a different region. And now, of course, the regions are gone. But I think that's just another example of how one region and another region didn't do the same things. Good, bad, or indifferent, if there's a program that's massively successful like MHL is, why isn't the state of Iowa covering this better?
But the regions are all managed by the same entity, right?
Now the regions are gone. Now you have these districts, which that's, we've changed the way we're doing this. I don't hear, much. I know there's a district meeting. I don't know where they are. Do you?
We'd have to talk to Jenny.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go down and pitch to them, I'll go with you.
Well, I just think that, I think they're well aware that MHL is a very popular thing. I think the whole thing is interesting because in law enforcement, we are always told that we are always arresting people. They're always blaming law enforcement for arresting people with mental health problems.
That's 100 and whatever foot long. They'd have to be stopped on the bridge, which is technically illegal, I guess. I didn't know that, but you're not supposed to stop with a loaded,
You say called an
oversized load.
oversized load.
Yeah, an oversized load on a bridge. So
Is there a way you can make it that the road has the right of way to the pedestrians?
you mean,
To me, that's my opinion. If you're gonna do it, it has to be that way.
yeah.
The pedestrians would have to stop and,
Well, I asked McKean that, like, can you put a stop sign in to say, and he's like, well, you can, but you still, the pedestrian still has, if you put a crosswalk in, the pedestrian still has. If you don't put a crosswalk in, then the pedestrian does not have the right of way, supposedly.
And he was gonna worry about the state was gonna put a crosswalk in,
Yeah,
and then we wouldn't match.
If something would happen, they would say, well, how come you didn't put the crosswalk in? And they did, and here,
Yeah.
now you're.
I guess we can pretty much save the discussion for
Correct.
next week.
Yeah.
Because, I had the suggestion about putting a double barrier in that they couldn't just go through, they'd have to come and.
right.
Zigzag through our stuff.
We'll see what the trail people say, maybe they don't wanna do,
And maybe,
it'd be the same amount of trail, basically,
Maybe they got a better idea.
right.
the same amount of trail, it just would go through Gateway instead of going on the levee from the bridge to the ball field.
Yeah, I just worry like the safety of biking on the shoulder.
I mean, it's 100% safety either way.
But it'll only be, if they do it that way, it'll only be from
North Street back to.
30 feet, 40 feet.
Oh, it's only that much.
Yeah. If that's the way I mean, how they end up doing it. But- And Nick thought maybe they could extend that out and make the shoulder wider, by that stop sign.
That's I hope.
We'll find out next week.
Yeah.
Anything else besides that for next week? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
I
Opposed, say nay. We are adjourned.